So, friends of mine from when I was younger, like, I don't know, 13 and younger, used to ride bikes with me a lot because my family's into bicycles. We just always have been into bicycles, and I'm no exception. So we have nice bikes. They're not super expensive, but they're nicer than the bikes you can find at Walmart. And when you have a nice bike, you need to protect it. And some people use shitty locks, and the problem with the shitty lock is that it doesn't do its job. It doesn't protect your bike. If you're going to lock your bike, you need to be sure that the lock's not going to fail. Now, this is not a shitty lock, but it's definitely not the best kind of lock. By the thickness of the chain here, if you had a big enough pair of bolt cutters, you could cut through it. A better lock is a U-lock. In fact, this is one of the best kinds of locks you can get. I'm not sure, but it might be the best kind of lock you can get. And last night, someone tried to break my U-lock, but they didn't get very far because this lock is really solid. So it's not very focused. Come on, focus, camera. Oh, come on, focus. Nope, not focusing. Well, basically, they got through the rubber because, hey, it's just rubber. It's only there to protect your bike from getting dinged and scuffed when you use your lock. But see that silver scratch? All that is paint missing. Black flat mesh or what, matte finish paint. That's all that's missing. That and the rubber. So let's see. They also tried to cut it here, and this little black thing was pushed that way, so I had to put it back. But they tried to cut through here, but they didn't get far. And then they also, I don't know what they did here. Like, I don't know, because they tried to do something here, but there's nothing wrong. So if you ever get a nice bicycle worth locking, a bike that's worth more than the lock, get a U-lock, and don't get a small U-lock. This is small, but I mean, don't get a shitty U-lock. Spend at least like $30. This was a $60 U-lock. Made by, well, it's made by a company called On Guard. And the best bike lock company, I think, is called Kryptonite. You can pay well over $100 for a bike lock, and when you buy the really expensive bike locks, they'll give you insurance. You can get up to $2,500 if your bike actually gets stolen. There's a video somewhere on YouTube or the website for Kryptonite where they take one of their best locks, attach it to a very expensive bicycle, and leave it in downtown New York for like 2 days with a secret video camera. And no one steals the bike. I mean, everyone tries to steal the bike, but they can't do it because they're like the bike lock is just too strong. Anyways, this is not a Kryptonite lock, but it was $60, and it's like 3 years old, and it has survived its first break-in attempt. And my dad said I should get a new one, but I showed him that there is no like. There's no cut in the metal, so it's just paint that's missing. And here's my bike. I had to take the wheels off. The thief didn't mess up any of the working parts that I know of. I haven't ridden it yet because I think the thief popped my front tire. There's a chance that I ran over a leak yesterday on the 5 miles to the train station, but I'm betting that the thief popped the tire, because when you have a mountain bike tire like this, well, this is flat too, but when you have a mountain bike tire like this, it can handle more like stuff. But when you get a thin tire high pressure tire like this, and I like to fill them up nice and solid, just one whack with like a sharp tool will pop the tire. So I'm betting that the thief popped the tire. So anyways, thanks to that thief, I had to walk to the train station with my bike up in the air. But the only thing that the thief caused damage to was this area over here. I think it's on the other side. You can't see it very well, but there's some scuffs. So the thief's, the would-be thief's the would-be thief's bolt cutters probably caused that. Oh man. You know, my dad owns a pair of huge-ass bolt cutters, and we use it specifically to steal bikes. But I'm only being figurative or joking around here, because the only bikes we steal are our own. We don't steal other people's bikes. Like, if you ever lock your bike up at school, see, this is not the tool I was talking about. This is for cutting leaves. But if you lock your bike up at school and then you forget your key, it's like, what do? You know, because the janitor might have bolt cutters. I mean, they probably do, because it's their job, right? But I don't know where he keeps them. But we got a pair of bolt cutters that are so massive, they are just ridiculous. And if your arms aren't strong enough, you can put them on the ground and then stomp on them with your feet. Oh, here they are. Okay, I lied. They're not that massive, but these are really strong. These won't cut through almost any lock. They won't cut through my U-lock. But, see, the thief yesterday probably had a pair this big, or even bigger. But I'll tell you a secret. I'm not bullshitting you. This is a secret. It's a secret about how to lock your bike correctly. Because I went to UCSB for my college with a philosophy degree. I got a philosophy degree, and I rode bikes there, and I had 2 bikes stolen, but it was because I fucked up and left the bike lock unlocked. It wasn't because of the bike lock, or because of me putting the bike lock in a bad place. If you're gonna lock your bike up, never, ever, 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 ever just lock the wheel. Don't ever just lock the wheel. In fact, don't even bother with the wheel. You always, when you're locking a bike up, you put it around the frame. I put my lock around the frame. This is okay. This is good. This is good. In my opinion, this is best. This bar right here, I don't know what it's called. But it's like right in the middle of the bike, and if they want to take the bike off of whatever you locked it to, they're gonna have to get like a fucking weld gun or whatever to get through the metal. I mean, some people will lock their front tire to a bike rack and then they come back the next day and the front tire's still there but the rest of the bike's missing. That's funny. Just kidding, it's not funny. It's never funny to get a bike stolen. In Santa Barbara, stealing a bike is a felony. I mean a fucking felony. You can go to prison for stealing a bike in Santa Barbara. It's such a big problem. Oh yeah, so here's the secret. I'm not going to demonstrate because I'm holding the camera. But when you lock your bike, you want to make sure that your bike lock cannot be moved. So, like, take this post for example. Okay, if this could actually fit around this post and I locked it to my bike, the thief could move the bike lock up and down as far as the bike itself would permit. The secret is you never ever want a bike lock locked in such a way that the thief can get it down to the ground. If the thief can get your bike lock down to the ground, they can take those wire cutters that I was talking about and stick them on the ground, and then they can jump on the wire cutters to give way more strength than puny arms. Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't have puny arms, but I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so one of the reasons why I still have my bike, besides the fact that I used a U-lock, a very strong U-lock, and besides the fact that I didn't just lock it to the wheel, I actually locked it to the frame. One of the reasons I still have my bike is because I attached the U-lock to a metal post thing so snugly that even though it was attached to this part of the frame, it couldn't even be moved up and down because it was so tight on there. So the thief couldn't get his bolt cutters anywhere but right here. Feels good to have a bicycle.